Here is the text with appropriate punctuation. She was the kind of person that really restored your faith in humanity, on just how kind she was to literally anybody that she came across. Loved ones remember Kansas native Betty Bowman, who died in a Minnesota hospital after investigators say her husband poisoned her. I just never would have expected it and seen it coming, so I was a lot more devastated. I mean, obviously it was horrible to find out she had passed it all, but it was a whole different level of being devastated when I found out it was Connor. Authorities arrested and charged 30-year-old doctor and state poison specialist, Connor Bowman, for the murder of his own wife, Betty. Let's start from the beginning. Betty and Connor were married in May of 2021. She worked as a pharmacist, while her husband, Connor, was completing his medical residency. Court records show around the time of Betty's death, a woman reported to investigators that the couple was having marital issues and were discussing getting a divorce. The records reveal Betty allegedly told others Connor had debt, so they kept their bank accounts separate. And then more alarming details uncovered about Betty's death. According to additional court documents, Betty Bowman was admitted into a Rochester, Minnesota hospital on August 16th of this year for severe gastrointestinal distress and dehydration, where her condition deteriorated rapidly. Investigators say the medical examiner's report noted Betty's initial symptoms were similar to food poisoning, which doctor treated as such. However, her symptoms continued to worsen. Betty reportedly experienced cardiac issues, fluid in her lungs, she had to have part of her colon removed, and eventually died from organ failure, just 4 days after being admitted in the hospital. The criminal complaint goes on to state Connor Bowman suggested Betty was suffering from a rare illness known as HLH. Connor included that as her cause of death in Betty's obituary, but test results came back inconclusive for HLH. Officials say Connor tried to stop his wife from having an autopsy, arguing to medical examiners that Betty's death was natural, and she should be cremated immediately. He said Betty did not want to be a cadaver. Plus, via email, Connor allegedly asked the medical examiner's office if the toxicology analysis and an autopsy would be more thorough than the one from the hospital. Court records go on to state the night before Betty went to the hospital, she told a man only identified as SS that she was drinking at home with her husband. The next morning, she told SS she was sick and thought it was due to a drink that was mixed into a large smoothie. Authorities say a woman only identified as C also told investigators Betty was a healthy person. They told investigators she received a text from Betty on August 16th saying she was anything but healthy and going to the hospital, and things were going downhill. C also told police Connor said at one point he was going to get $500,000 in life insurance as a result of Betty's death. Later, detectives say they received a report that Connor got access to Betty's patient account through hospital credentials. Connor allegedly looked at admission information, notes, medications, an operating room log, and at one point, he placed himself on Betty's care team, which allowed him access to her medical records without having to enter credentials. Hey everybody, so Palm Pepper Spray is a very proud partner of us here at Long Crime, and we're super excited about it because if you follow our stories, you know protecting yourself and those you love is so important. And honestly, I'll tell you what, since we got some of these units in the office, I can't tell you how many of our people have just been grabbing them off my desk. They should have really asked. It's fine. I'm not surprised they're doing that. And even my wife has one of these. She carries it around all the time. Not surprised because Palm has this incredible range and capacity to it, and its design prevents accidental misfire, so you don't have to worry about it mistakenly shooting off. We got a big announcement. So today through October 27th, Palm is taking over YouTube and it's offering a special 15% off of your order. You can learn more at palmpepperspray.com and use code TAKEOVER15 for special 15% off. According to the complaint, detectives got a search warrant for Connor's laptop, which was issued by the University of Kansas where he worked as a poison specialist. A woman from the university later notified detectives in late September that Connor used the university-issued device in the days before Betty's death to search for information on colchicine, a drug used to treat gout, and sodium nitrate. Investigators discovered Connor also searched things like internet browsing history, can it be used in court, police track package delivery, and delete Amazon data. The complaint states Connor used an online tool to convert Betty's weight to milligrams, then multiplied that number by 8 milligrams, which is the lethal dosage rate of colchicine. Betty's toxicology report later revealed that colchicine was present in Betty's system the day she was hospitalized. That's the drug Connor searched before her death. Betty's death was eventually ruled a homicide on October 20th, and Connor was arrested that same day, where investigators also noted they found a receipt for a $450,000 bank deposit. Inside, the details were appalling for Carly Ward, who previously knew the couple when they lived in Kansas. When she first passed away in August, and I got word, I was absolutely devastated. But she says she never witnessed anything unusual when she met Connor. When I was there, everything was normal, and I hadn't seen anything different than any other young couple. Carly tells me she met Betty in 2019, right after she adopted her beloved pooch, Sir Crumpet. I don't think I've ever met a more dedicated dog owner than Betty. She absolutely worshipped the dog. She loved him to death. I don't know if she still did it after she moved, but when she was here, she would literally brush his teeth every single night before bed. She says what began as a professional relationship quickly turned into a friendship. She was just so unbelievably kind in a way that she really did not need to be. I mean, I was just an awkward kid. I hadn't even been out of high school for like a year yet, and I didn't have any friends. And she immediately was like, "Come over for dinner, let's go on a walk together." She would just pay me to come over and walk Crumpet and then go on the walk with me and still pay me. She's just so generous. She says the two kept in touch even after Betty moved to Minnesota. Carly even planned to send Betty a text message but unfortunately never got the chance. Even just a few days prior, I was thinking, oh, I haven't sent Betty a corgi meme in a little while. I really need to send her something because I saw some cute corgi Halloween costumes that I really wanted to send her, and I just never ended up getting the chance to. It was just so unexpected. I was definitely very devastated to hear the news. Meanwhile, Betty's family shared with us a statement about her untimely death. It reads in part, "She was always there, a reliable pillar of strength and a listening ear. During the times of joy and sorrow, she showed us the true meaning of love, selfless, unconditional, and boundless." A GoFundMe was also set up by Betty's best friend, Sarah, who says all proceeds will go directly to Betty's mother. For Carly, she says she wants her friend Betty to always be remembered for her kindness and graciousness to anyone she came across. Betty really, she was the real deal. She would light up a room. She had the funniest, cutest, nerdy personality that I just loved so much. And I want people to remember her and all of the funny costumes that she had and just her kind, generous, nerdy nature. Jail records show Connor Bowman is still behind bars, and his unconditional bond has been set at $5 million. Bowman is scheduled to appear in court on November 1st. We'll keep you updated as the case further develops. In court reporting for Long Crime Network, I'm Elizabeth Milner.